Hello again everyone, and thank you for joining me here on the Noble Crumb. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my orange and cranberry muffins. They're really easy to make. The flavor of them is absolutely delicious. The other thing with this is you can really swap out the orange and the cranberries for a variety of other flavors. Lemon and raspberry was a really good one. Same with, I've done orange with chocolate chips. That one's been fantastic. You can use it with limes and pieces of pineapple. Really get, creative and have fun with those different flavors. Now the recipe that I'm going to be doing today is a doubled recipe because I'm going to be using the jumbo muffin tins where you have 6 in a pan. Totally feel free if you do the regular recipe, which is half, that's the one I'm going to be using in my recipe. That will make you a dozen in regular size muffin tins. But for me, I'm doubling up. I want a nice big muffin with the crumble topping. So feel free, do with it what you will. But without further ado, let's get to the ingredients and start baking my orange and cranberry muffins. And here's the recipe for the orange and cranberry muffins. So this recipe makes 12 regular sized muffins, or you can double the recipe for jumbo sized muffins. We're going to start with the crumble topping. You need a half a cup of oats, a quarter cup of flour, a quarter teaspoon of salt, a quarter cup of brown sugar, and 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's been melted. Moving on to the muffin batter itself, you're going to need 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of sugar, the zest and juice from 1 orange, a half a cup of oil, a half a cup of milk, 2 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 1.5 cups of fresh or frozen cranberries. We're going to bake these at 350. If you're using the small regular size, it'll be 20 to 25 minutes. For jumbo size, you're about 35 to 40 minutes. Alright, so we're going to start with our crumble mixture. So I've got a small mixing bowl here. To that, we're going to add the oats, the flour, brown sugar, the salt, and the melted butter. So we're just going to add all that in there. And then all we're going to do, I just get a fork and I start mixing all this together. Perfect. And then we're just going to stick this aside until the muffin batter is ready. So to start the muffin batter, I've got a larger mixing bowl here. To this, we're going to start with our flour, our salt, and the baking powder. Just going to take a whisk and mix this all together so that it's all thoroughly combined. Just like that. And then we're going to stick this aside and get with our stand mixer. Okay, so to start with the batter, I've got my stand mixer with my paddle attachment. To that, first I'm going to add my sugar and my orange zest. So I'm going to put this on just a low speed and let it mix for 1 minute. This is going to pull out the oils into the sugar. Alright, so after a minute you can see it's almost gotten to the consistency of like sand. Really nice. So now to that, we're going to start adding the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to add the orange juice, the milk, and the oil. And I'm going to mix this for about another minute, just on a medium-low speed so that this can get combined. Alright, so you can see everything is nicely combined. So to this, I'm going to add in my eggs and the vanilla. And I'm going to mix this for about 2 minutes just to break up the eggs and get everything mixed in. Okay, so everything is nice and mixed up. So now we're going to start adding in the dry ingredients. So I'm going to do this in about 3 parts. So I'm going to add about 1/3 of the flour mixture in there. And then we're going to mix this slowly. Then I'm going to add another 1/3 of this. Mix again. Finally, we'll add the last of the flour mixture. Just make sure I get every last bit in there. Perfect. And then I'm going to fold this in just until there's no flour remaining. So once the flour's all been mixed in, I'm going to scrape down my bowl and I'm going to take it off of the stand mixer. Okay, so I've got my bowl here of the batter. So I'm going to scrape this down and give it a good mix by hand to make sure that any little bits from the bottom and on the sides are all perfectly combined. The smell of orange with this stuff smells so good and it looks fantastic. That looks great. And then all we're gonna do, I've got my cranberries here and they are still completely frozen. And apparently there's a twig in there, so we'll get rid of that. And then I'm just gonna fold these guys in. You want them to be frozen just because you don't want them to start bleeding their color all the way through. Alright, those are all evenly distributed through the batter. We're going to start filling our muffin tins. Okay, so I've got my large muffin tins here and I'm using a large cookie scoop here so I can get even amounts in each one. The muffin tins have been sprayed very well with cooking spray. And I'm basically going to be adding a full scoop, overloaded scoop I should say, to each one of these. But that looks pretty good. So then now that the batter's in there, now we're going to take our crumble and you're basically just gonna sprinkle it right on top. And I will usually give it a little pat on top so that it kind of sets into the actual batter. And that is it. So these are going to go into a 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes. Alright, so these took 35 minutes to bake and look at how beautiful those turned out. So I'm going to let these cool in the pan for about 5 minutes, and then I will take them out and let them cool completely on a cooling rack. But that's it. Those are my orange and cranberry muffins. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys really enjoyed that muffin recipe. It is one of my favorites, and I do, like I say, that's kind of my standard one that I will do all the time with a bunch of different variations. So let me know what you guys come up with. And other than that, please like, subscribe, comment, anything. I really hope you guys are enjoying this channel, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.